Last year, Canada smashed a record with how many immigrants we took into our country, but where are all these people going to live? Hi, my name is Adam Nadler. I'm the owner of Vision Real Estate. Thanks so much for tuning in again. And if you haven't yet, feel free to hit that subscribe button below and join our community. And if you like this video, hit that like button so this video can be pushed out to more people like yourself. All right, so I want to talk a bit about the housing market right now and how things are going, because as of right now, I'm seeing headlines that are all over the place. Doom and gloom headlines where markets are going to crash because interest rates are still on the rise, and then others that are saying, well, housing prices are up and everybody's in bidding wars. So which one is it? But before I get into the facts, if you have any questions about the Toronto real estate market, or you just want to have a chat with me, feel free to use the link in the description below. That'll connect you to a calendar where you can book a quick time to chat with me at a time that is most convenient for you. Or feel free to just shoot me an email with any question you have to adam@visionrealestate.ca, and I will send you a personal video response within 24 hours. Okay, so we just had a big surprise interest rate bump in June, and now all of the economists that were not predicting another bump for the rest of the year are now saying that we should be expecting another bump in July. And although we just saw the most aggressive first 12-month cycle of a tightening period with interest rates, our real estate market seems to be doing just fine. It is true that there are a lot of multiple offer situations, bidding wars happening again in and around the city, in the suburbs as well, that had taken a pretty big hit when interest rates started climbing last year. So how are things recovering so quickly? What is happening to our market? Well, it has a lot to do with the immigration that we are seeing right now, which is at record highs. And why are we bringing so many people in? Well, frankly speaking, it's because our government has a bit of a spending problem. And when the government has a bit of a spending problem, they have a bit of a printing problem. And when they have a bit of a printing problem, well, we get an inflation problem. And when we get an inflation problem, we get an interest rate problem. So with all that said, when the Bank of Canada starts to hike rates very aggressively, it puts a huge dampener on our economy. As economic growth starts to slow and grind to a halt, that is very bad politically. So we end up bringing in a lot of foreign wealth. And it's actually done really well by Canada over the years. This is not the first time or the last time that we've done this or will do this. Now, the types of immigrations that we do are a little bit different compared to our neighbors in the South, who also have a lot of immigration happening. In Canada in particular, over the last year, we've been leaning very heavily on our economic programs for immigration, which is about 60% of our total immigration. So we have a lot of skilled laborers coming in to help with our labor shortage, but most of those people, because of the way the point system works and are weighted more heavily on bringing money into the country when you come here within those economic immigration programs, are having a deposit or a down payment ready to purchase real estate when they get here. Now, granted, a lot of them can't right away, so they rent for a year while they're building up their credit in Canada, but that only takes about 6 to 12 months on average. So we're seeing a lot of newcomers coming to Canada and wanting to lay their roots here. They want to come here and contribute to the economy, and they don't want to be paying somebody else's mortgage, just like none of us do. So yes, they have definitely contributed a lot to the increase in rental prices that we saw over the last year, and I do believe that that is going to shift more into the resale market as we move forward into the later half of 2023 and definitely in the first half of 2024 as interest rates now start to come down, making it even more viable for them to purchase real estate. But no one can afford to buy right now. Everybody seems to be really stuck in a very tough position because the cost of borrowing is just so high. And when everybody seems to be tightening the belt, well, the fingers get pointed at the government real quick, and for good reason, I'd say. Economists at CIBC are outright blaming the Canadian government on an out of control spending problem, creating a high interest rate environment that is making it very, very tough on the average taxpayer. The chief economist at CIBC really describes this well when he basically equates it to a dehumidifier working at the same time as a humidifier is working in the same room. If you have government spending a lot of money, you cannot then raise interest rates and expect that to quell inflation, because government spending is inflationary and raising interest rates is deflationary. But at this point in time, it seems that we're not really having an amazing time at quelling our inflation problem because there is so much spending happening at the federal level. And as the chief of the StatsCan Center for Demography says, demography and economy are always linked together. And he's 100% right. So we have this huge explosion of our population. We have a massive housing shortage and nowhere for anyone to live, driving prices up like crazy, even in this high interest rate environment. So what does this mean for you? Well, if you were waiting to get into the real estate market, hoping that there's going to be a doom and gloom collapse, think again. Right now, we have way too much demand and way too few supply. And although the cost of borrowing is really high right now, well, I think everyone's just going to have to get used to higher interest rates, at least for the next little while, until they start to come down, more likely than not in 2024. Keep in mind, though, when that does happen, that prices will skyrocket as money gets cheaper. So in my humble opinion, I think it's a good time to get in while things are a little bit cooler and we're not seeing the most crazy heated market that we are probably going to be approaching in the next year or two. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think we are still headed for doom and gloom collapse? Or is this immigration really going to keep pumping up our economy? Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. If you like that video, click the subscribe button on the right, or feel free to enjoy another video here on the left.